we go. Here we go. Hey, Nick, good morning. I had to go live early because I've got to go get some blood drawn this morning, so I'm not going to be here. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to miss this because I always cover when there's a Bitcoin move and whether it's up or down. And I was like, I got to go live right now. So, yeah, I'm ready to leave. I was going to have some coffee or something. Maybe not because I'm getting blood work done, actually. I might not have anything. I don't know, man. It just went to 45. I saw it all the way up to almost 45.2. It was 45,100 and according to this 45,020, but it was higher. I saw it at 45,100 and something, and I said I got to go live right now. Maybe it'll jump back up there again, but it looks like it may have just been a one-time thing. That's a huge rejection. So I don't know if it's gonna recover right now. But when I went live, man, we were 45K. So I just wanted to get that on screen. It's there. It's in the title. The date, everything. It's all saved. The time, everything. So we're good. I like to record history, as it happens. Get a drone ad every show now. It's weird. Always. You must have clicked on one once. Oops. Hippie chick, hey. Happy 420, everybody. It's 420. Hell yeah. So, I don't know if it's going to recover. 898, maybe it will. It's got to jump up that 950 zone. Let's see if it does it. It's been moving $50 at a time, so it gets really crazy. There it goes, 900, 914. Like if we see 950, man, we're partying again. I might even do a dab if we hit 950 again. And we got to set standards for myself here. Hope the sound is okay. Happy 420, hippie chick. 875. What can you do? Just took the dog out for a walk, and I was watching Bitcoin. Those of you that follow me on Twitter probably knew I was going to go live because I was tweeting photos of Bitcoin at 45K. So, this is huge. This is a huge move. And you're up to $179. Hell yeah. At some point, you're going to wish you had bought more Bitcoin, bro. That's the whole point of this, man. At some point, everyone who's holding Bitcoin is going to be like, man, I should have bought more when it was cheaper. I know, right? I'm trying to teach people, man. Trying. I got 6 Bitcoins, man. So, let's do the math on that real quick. It's I think it's 6.1, but I'll just say 6 times 45,000. It's $270,000 of Bitcoin. You been struggling? Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's crazy as you're struggling, you work all the time. We're close to that 900 mark again. Come on, 950. I thought I'd be doing a dab this morning, but maybe not. been out of work for a month. Oh, I didn't know that. You've been out of work for a month. Holy shit. Oh, man. I can't believe this rejection, dude. I'm so sad, man. I thought we were going to really make some moves this morning, and we made the move. It went from 44.2 right up to, it went all the way from 44 to 45. It moved up $1,000 and then decided to reject. You know, because everybody sells off at 45K. Everybody wants to make them some money. So this is what happens, man. Greedy motherfuckers drop the market value instead of contributing to the pot, you know, contributing to the overall holdings and making the value go up so that in the future we all have this massive store of value. These greedy sons of bitches all cash out, you know, think they're all smart and dump the value, and everybody fucking suffers because greed. You know, it sucks. But it'll keep moving up. You know, April is just around the corner, and we're already in January, and Celsius is going to pay out this month, supposedly. And that's actually going to charge the market up a little bit. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be taking their money and putting it right back into crypto. They get their money back from Celsius. I don't know if Celsius is going to be paying in Bitcoin or cash. It's not clear yet. We're at the, okay, 892. We're at the mercy of the greed of cunts, you know? 912, hey, look at this, 44,912. We're looking for 950 for a dab. 950 wins a dab. Come on, guys. Before my blood work. Which I'm actually, I wouldn't mind getting out of here within the next few minutes to go get that done. I could actually leave the show running while I go get blood work. It's not going to take that long, you know, probably about I would think an hour or less. I would be back. Probably more like a half hour, I would think. If it hits 950, man, I'm doing a dab right now. Oh, man, I'm getting ready. I'm going to get a dab ready. Holy shit, I think we're doing it. Oh my God, 936. Tell me if it hits 950, guys. I think we're going right back up again. Right to 45,000. Here we go. 35. I'm going to start heating because I'm anticipating that 950. 31. We've got good movement upwards. Ah, no. God bless America. Come on. Here we go. Come on, let's try it again. You know, right now, Rumble was saying that there were 20 people watching and it just dropped 5 people. And I just wonder if those are people tuning in or not. I could run the rest of that Destiny Alex Jones footage while I'm gone. All right, what are we doing here, Bitcoin? 44.5. Whoa, dude, what just happened, man? A massive sell-off. Massive greed kicked in. I cannot believe this. More people selling off. That just completely ruined my morning. Holy shit. I was so excited. Okay, sadness. It's going to go all the way back down to 44.2, man, or 44.0. Holy shit. So it was just a quick check of that level. I don't understand it. I do not understand this market sometimes, man. Bottom of the hour. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, everybody. I'm doing a dab anyway. A failure dab. Failure dab for Bitcoin. But we watched it happen live. Alright guys, here is your video. I will be back. I will, I'm thinking, I'm leaving way early. I don't have to do that. You know, I'm not going to be late. I don't have to leave super early, so I can wait a little bit. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. Where's my Rumble page at? There it is. Only 12 people watching. It went to 20 and now it's down to 12. That's interesting. I guess people lost interest because Bitcoin fell. I'm assuming. I don't know. hippie chick. When we get engaged, you'll know. All right. Tula. Hey. Holy shit. Why don't you guys come over to Rumble, man? I wasn't even watching that chat. Are you okay? Was just cleaning spray paint off my car. Rubbing alcohol to the trigger. Gotta pop my dent. And he was smoking when he sprayed the spray paint. And what he was smoking when he sprayed spray paint. People getting ready for ETF. I bought this week. I'm up. Can you see my messages? You're not saying hi today. I don't have storage space to download Rumble right now. Sup, Nay? My internet is shut off. Hotspot won't let me on Rumble. Taking way too long, so I'm here. Michael Haskey. Hey, Nay, did you see Biden pull out due to his Mr. Burns health conditions? California G. Are you like a psycho, California G? California G, are you like a psycho, completely out of touch with reality? Sorry, I can't be on Rumble. It takes way too long to get on there with HOTS. There you are. Read my comment. No Rumble today. Yeah, no Rumble. I got you. It's too bad. You guys should all be on Rumble, but I know some of you can't do it. Are we back up to 44.8? That was fast. That's great. Okay, guys, let's start the video, and I'm gonna go get my blood work done. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Of peaceful people there in a 10,000 man riot. It's not always 10,000 people riding. It might just be 100 people riding or 1,000 people riding. The reality was there was one event on January 6th at the Capitol building. That event was a riot.
Okay, so let me just add some context here. Well, they had 3 trials in Michigan, and one of them it was a mistrial, and they let most of them off another, and they finally got a few convicted. It came out in court that the feds went and found a bunch of basically homeless potheads, and just like Glenn was saying, the New York Times article, they were more accurate, 97% of Islamic plots were hatched by the FBI, including the first World Trade Center bombing, and they admit all that, and I've interviewed the people involved, Ahmad Salam, all of them, that knew they were going to do the bombing. He came and said, why have I cooked a real bomb? And they let it go forward. With Whitmer, the same team involved in January 6th from the FBI went and set these people up, and that came out in the mainstream news. Right. So we know this isn't, you guys were saying, we don't want to go back to 10 years ago. You know, I'm sat there for 6-7 minutes, you know, out there smoking a cigarette while you're just going on and acting like you're being censored. You're like, there's no example recently of them doing something corrupt or bad.
Never said that.
It's a great example, Alex. If I can add some detail to that.
Find
10 years ago, he said you can use stuff.
No, Destiny, this is a great point. This is a great point that Alex is making. You don't need to go back to the original war on terror. You don't need to go back to the ample antecedents that exist going way back into our nation's history. Just go back to the Michigan case, and the parallels to January 6th are striking. Look, almost half of the so-called plotters turned out to be either informants or federal agents. One of those federal agents had to recuse himself from the trial because he beat his wife on the way home from a swingers party. The second one had to recuse himself because he was moonlighting in his private security firm and leaking details of investigations in which he was involved. But in every single, it wasn't just that there were informants. Every active step instrumental to this so-called plot was undertaken by one of the informants or one of the agents. One of the informants, as I mentioned him, Steve Robeson, in the context of, does the government ever burn its own informants? Almost all the time. And
how many of the BLM riots were instigated by FBI?
What?
How many of the BLM riots were instigated by our own intelligence agencies?
Well, they had agents in there. In fact, one of the guys, Sullivan, one of the guys, Jake Sullivan, he had a very complicated relationship. Antifa basically excluded him because of his relationship with the government, and they thought he was a Fed. Absolutely, the Feds infiltrate BLM.
Absolutely, they got excluded because of his relationship with the government. He got excluded because that guy was insane. Because he was screaming at people to do all sorts of violent stuff constantly. Nobody wanted to be around him.
At some point, they thought he was a Fed. On video in the Capitol saying, "I told you we were going to stage it. I told you it was going to happen."
Yeah, but again, for Sullivan, there's no evidence that Sullivan communicates with
why you talk more than all of us? You guys, these guys haven't talked to me.
Why is it that when BLM pro rioters, I guess you could say, aren't arrested as much as you want? Like, you say the January 6ers were arrested at a much higher rate than the rioters.
That's true.
Okay, how come you don't say that?
And much more property damage as a result of BLM.
So here's the thing, though. Why don't you accuse those who aren't prosecuted for those riots of being federal agents?
Well, in some cases they probably are, but at that scale, it's hard to...
Maybe they just have more there. How do you know?
No.
Like, if you want to go conspiracy theory, I mean, let's touch all the bases.
But I mean, Michigan is on record.
Can I interject? First, the idea, again, that for the FBI to be infiltrating these groups is a conspiracy theory. Again, it requires an understanding of the FBI that's childlike. And what Destiny was saying before is, oh, we're just using what they've done in the past and therefore concluding they must be doing that in the future. He just ignored all the evidence we've been presenting for the last 2 hours, including the fact that the FBI, by their own admission, had informants in all three of the leading groups that organized January 6th and were talking to informants on the ground at the Capitol on that day.
Who is the head of the FBI? Who's the head of the FBI?
It's okay.
As far as the January 6th defendants are concerned, it is true that they're getting sentences similar to what people get when they're charged with felonies. The point is that it is insane that nonviolent protesters are being charged with felonies in the United States. That is what never happens. And pointing to Black Lives Matter is not to say, oh, yeah, that's whataboutism, so we're admitting that this was an insurrection, and that is too. The point is that what the government is doing, if you look at the disparate treatment between the two, is picking and choosing which movement they like ideologically and politically and which they don't, and punishing much more severely the one that they don't, which is what January 6th is about.
When you're making that accusation, wait, real quick.
Going into the Capitol building with weapons saying, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. No, that's not a violent crime, but are you saying that doesn't warrant a felony conviction? That's absurd. People are actually calling for the hanging of the vice president of America.
I'm going to be honest.
The majority of people, no, Alex, hold on one second. The majority of people who were charged with felonies in January 6th are non-violent offenders.
And what did they do, Glenn? What did they do?
An interpretation of the law. They created an interpretation of the law that was enacted after Enron that was designed to criminalize accountants from obstructing fraud at the corporate level.
Every single
meaning of it to mean that if it's a nonviolent protest, any nonviolent protest now at the Capitol, you're charged with a felony.
You're glossing over the facts. You're glossing over the facts, Glenn.
People get 6 month sentences. Hold on,
I want to respond to Glenn.
People get 6 month sentences for going in the damn thing being waved in by police. That's on record.
No, but here's the facts. The people who got the felonies were either violent, they were taking part in a conspiracy, or they went into the House chamber. Those are the people who got it. The people who walked into the Capitol building.
That's not true.
It is true.
No, it's not.
It absolutely is.
I just gave you a specific example earlier.
One or two. Give me the example. What did he do?
Thomas Caldwell. He was not violent, and he did not go into the Capitol.
He didn't go.
Owen
What did he do?
spent
What
2
was he
months
charged
in
with?
federal-
Was it conspiracy?
What was his conviction?
Owen
What
spent
is
2 months in
Caldwell's
federal
conviction?
prison
Let's talk about-
and did not go in the Capitol.
Let's talk about Thomas Caldwell for a minute.
And then also, real quick, to Glenn's point, keep in mind that when you're saying that BLM wasn't treated the same because of the government and how they, you're not just alleging the federal government at that point. You're alleging every single state government and city municipality that's in charge of arresting people
we're
are
not saying that.
all on the same
The
page
feds ran the
in terms
prosecution.
of unfair.
Almost all of it's in D.C.
Wait, the feds are in charge of prosecuting everybody in every state?
Thomas Caldwell was part of the seditious conspiracy. He was part of the conspiracy by the Oath Keepers.
Let Glenn come in, and
That's
then I
why
want to
he
hear
got
about
charged with a
Caldwell.
felony.
Go for it, Glenn.
That when Black Lives Matter happened, every single blue state mayor and every single blue state governor weighed in on the side of the rioters because they were petrified of being demonized as being racist, that they didn't support everything the Black Lives Matter movement did. So yes, the Black Lives Matter movement had corporations sponsoring them. They had Kamala Harris urging and raising money for people to get out of prison who were imprisoned and prosecuted for having engaged in violence as part of the Black Lives Matter movement. The entire establishment was on the side of the Black Lives Matter movement. The entire establishment hated the January 6th defendants. That's the reality of our government that you don't understand.
The reality of our government that you don't understand. No, the reality of our government that you don't understand is that police orders don't come down from the federal government or even from the governors. Policing is done at the municipal level. The idea that governors are dictating.
This is federal.
The BLM riots are not all federally prosecuted. These are state crimes that are happening within states.
A bunch of money.
That are happening within states. The idea that the governors themselves, the governors are dictating. The governors themselves are dictating the policing policies to all of these different departments. Where's the evidence of any of that? One message, one email, one memorandum, one thing saying don't arrest protesters, don't convict them. Not a single shred of evidence.
How much do you love the police state? Why do you suddenly love it?
Stories, and isn't that weird? That's the most you guys have.
I was against the police
isn't
state
that weird?
and got arrested by George W. Bush against
Why are we forgetting something? We're forgetting one thing, and that is that you can commit a crime, you can commit a felony, and it doesn't have to be violent. There's plenty of felonies on the books that aren't violent, including breaking into a federal building, breaking through police lines and going into that federal building and going into the Senate chamber as Congress people are trying to certify an election. How is that going over your head, Glenn?
Let me ask you this. I'm asking you this and everybody. Please answer my question. Is this as bad as Pearl Harbor, or is this as bad as 9/11? And all I'm telling you is this Biden announcement that currently the number one threat is the Trump supporters, and Trump must be taken off the ballot. You can punt to the Supreme Court, but they're literally trying to preclude Americans for voting for who they want. That's the election theft in our face.
Why do we have to keep going back to that?
Yeah, that's the third time that question was asked and unanswered.
Yeah, I mean, who cares?
I want to go to
taking somebody off the ballot.
I want to talk about Thomas Caldwell, and Darren, maybe you can answer this. Who is he? What did he do exactly, and what was he charged with?
Seditious conspiracy.
I mean, we don't need to get into that so extensively. I was just saying, here is somebody who is not prosecuted, who did not go into the Capitol, who is charged with obstruction of an official proceeding.
Seditious conspiracy.
Well, there was later a superseding indictment.
That's a felony he was charged with. So
Biden's entire campaign is January 6th. Not inflation, not war with Russia, not open borders. I mean, give me a break, man. We had 1 million plus people there. A few hundred got in fights with the cops, and you act like it's the biggest thing since
It's a pretty big deal when a president tries to overturn a legitimate election. That's a really big deal.
10-day investigation.
That's a really big. You had all your investigations, and you lost every single one. When you lose in court, you go to the next day. That's what you do. Remember in 2016 when all the conservatives said, well, you know what? If we would have lost the election, you know what we would have done the next day? We would have went to work. Well, here you are 4 years later still crying about the outcome of the election.
So if Biden's going to win by landslide, why are the Democrats not winning the ballot?
It's up to the Supreme Court to decide.
Can I just say what my dream is? My dream is that Ed and Brian and Destiny have to actually live through a real coup so that they can then come back to the set and be like, oh my God, you know what? I'm so sorry for saying that what happened in the Capitol for 3 hours against the most militarized and powerful government to ever exist in human history got anywhere near a coup or an insurrection. A coup or an insurrection.
Let me say this and I'll shut up. I will leave for 10 minutes. I will leave. Let me ask this one question to Glenn. I want you all to answer this. Humor me. I agree. Because Glenn is a really great writer. I really respect him and follow him for decades. Can everyone describe a coup to me? Because usually it's helicopters, taking over media, killing the opposition, troops. and then you're claiming women with American flags and being waved in by police as a coup. So define to me, all of you first, and then Glenn and then the professor, what is a coup? Since this was the most devastating evil coup ever,
a coup is when you enact a scheme to try to circumvent the peaceful transfer of power.
Like Russiagate.
No, they didn't take any action. They
tried to remove him on a line.
There's nothing illegal done there to try and remove
the intelligence agencies censoring, putting out fake dossiers. Oh, that was illegal?
The dossier was
saying his election wasn't legitimate.
Did they try to remove him? They took it to the
so wait, do you admit that, wait, hold on. You admit then that Trump tried a coup, and you think Russiagate was also a coup? Then do you want to do
no,
it?
No, I don't agree. Trump did a coup. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Like, do you know about Pinochet? Do you know about Hitler? Do you know about the attempted coups? What is a coup?
Fight on the merits. Hey, why don't you fight on the merits of the argument instead of doing the whataboutism without even owning that Trump did something wrong? No. Focus on Trump.
Define me a coup.
I just did. Did you not listen to it?
No. Let's start with Glenn Greenwald. Glenn, you're a well-respected journalist. You look at coups around the world. What do they usually look like?
I know. No, Destiny is now the incredible giant of journalism and the constitutional scholar I used to be, as Destiny said. But anyway, a coup is generally when people in power or people who are trying to get into power marshal the force of the armed factions of that country and use it to eliminate the legal process and take over. So, for example, if Trump had called in the military on his side on January 6th, or he had gotten the military to block people from trying to remove him from office on January 20th, that is always what we say is a coup. Nothing that looks like what happened on January 6th. The other thing I just want to correct, Destiny seems to have this like debate me sort of point that he thinks he keeps making that's so smart, which is when you say...
Why does he waste so much time on catty comments? There must be something better for him to say.
No, you're the one that does throwaway lines.
All right, better for him to say.
We're about to change gears. Let Glenn finish this thought, and then we're moving to our audience questions.
Has done this little debate tactic like 8 times. I've listened to it for 2 hours. So if you say this person did this and it's wrong, and then someone else says, well, what about this person, this politician you love? He did the same thing. Destiny says, oh, you're admitting that both of them did something wrong. No, one of the reasons why you say things like the Black Lives Matter protest was never considered an insurrection is not to say that January 6th was also an insurrection and therefore you should treat the Black Lives Matter one like an insurrection. The point is to say the Black Lives Matter wasn't treated like an insurrection because people like Ed and Destiny and Brian love the Black Lives Matter movement because it's unaligned with their ideology. These are liberals who hate the Trump movement politically and therefore want to criminalize it. But pointing to other examples,
I'm against all rioting, just to be clear.
Isn't admitting that the one that you start with is wrong? You're just trying to show that you're not applying consistent principles when your ideology is at stake.
If that was the case, then when you're accused of defending a coup, then you argue why it's not a coup. That's how the argument works. If somebody says, I think that Trump engaged in a coup,
one of the ways that you show that it's not a coup is by saying that the things that you like that are done that are far more insurrectionary are things you won't call an insurrection because those things done to advance.
Glenn, I'm sorry. No, Glenn, that's called an appeal to hypocrisy. The way that you argue against something being a coup.
You actually believe what
why has Trump not been charged with it? Why have they not charged Trump with insurrection? You just say
Smith already said why. Go read some of his documents.
It's like the main Secretary of State. She says he's guilty.
If you don't think it's a coup, then we agree on what the definition of a coup is. If we don't agree on the definition of a coup, which you said it requires military presence, I don't know if anybody necessarily said.
All right. Well, it's not going to get resolved tonight, although we have tried to resolve it.
Why are we shutting this down? I'll go.
We're not shutting it down. We're just moving to the next phase of the organization.
Let Destiny and Glenn finish his point because
actually we're going to comments. I think this.
Fine, if you want to shut it down, that's fine.
I do want to shut it down. I want to move on.
Okay.
In fact, we've been instructed to move on, so that's what we're doing.
By who?
By who?
By the producers of the show. Let's move on. ZeroHedge.com. I mean, we can, if you guys want to go in circles and yell over each other for another 10 minutes, I don't want to do it. I want to go to these comments. But
I bet there was a 6'3" Marine, ex-Marine that told you to
shut it down. Thanks, dude. Shut it down.
No, but I mean, listen. This is the heart of it. Coups are militaries seizing the telecommunications and the government institutions and killing their opposition.
You could do lots of different
If Trump was going to do that, I would be against. Trump did not do that. That the bunch of fucking people being led into the Capitol is not a freaking coup, man.
We have an electronic coup,
you know.
But let's go on. These are from ZeroHedge.com. From some of the premium users of the website have sent in some of the questions. This one's actually a question for what they call the blue team, which right now is going to be the three of you guys, Ed, Brian, and Stephen. The question is. The New York Times acknowledged that there were FBI informants in the Capitol on January 6th, and then they give a link to the New York Times article Given the agency's history of entrapment, is it a stretch that some agents may have provoked the riot? And then there's a follow-up question. Why was law enforcement so ill prepared for the insurrection, in quotes, despite the presence of informants? So the first part of the question is it a stretch that some agents may have provoked the riot?
So informants are something the FBI has been using for years, decades. Is it illegal? No. They can do it as long as they do it within the legal means. If an informant is in the Capitol breaking the law, that doesn't mean that the FBI is behind it. Informants are also people who live their lives. Like, I could be an informant for FBI. I could go and murder somebody. That doesn't mean the FBI had me murder that person. So I think there's a lot of misinformation there that gets conflated with facts.
Well, and number two, do I think it's possible that an FBI agent could have done that? Sure, anything's possible, but it put out the evidence. There isn't evidence of this. The whole Ray Epps thing. Show us the evidence that he actually works for the FBI.
He orchestrated it. He just said I orchestrated it. You're right.
I robbed the bank. Come arrest me. Should I get arrested? I just said I robbed the bank.
You're right. You said orchestrated.
Did Ray Epps say that he was an FBI agent? You guys are just coming to that conclusion.
We're not saying he works for them. Probably.
Random dots.
If I had to guess, I'd say Southern Poverty Law Center.
If Ray Epps set them up, why isn't a single other person there attested to that?
Out of the
if he whispered into people's ears, if he was leading breach teams, why didn't any of the arrested? Why didn't a single person come out? I'm asking why. I'm asking this though. The next reasonable question: why isn't a single person come out and testify?
Because we exposed him. Because he's the leader there, and he's there doing it. He did it on video. He said, "I led this. I did this."
You're not answering my question. I'm saying, why hasn't anyone else come out and attested to this? Not a single person.
You know what an orchestra is, right?
I went to school for music.
The conductor leads the symphony.
Yep. And all the musicians have to see the conductor and would tell you that's my conductor.
And he says, "Go into the Capitol."
Why doesn't anybody else say that was my conductor?
You know, the follow-up part of this question, why do you guys think law enforcement was so ill-prepared for the insurrection, again in quotes, despite the presence of informants? This is from Space Worm, just so you know, Space Worm from Zero Hedge.
Well, half of them were sent away for crowd control.
I think the ill-preparedness came because Trump's deployment of the National Guard in the past, especially in D.C., had caused a lot of people to be uncomfortable with National Guard being present in the Capitol when the certification of the vote was happening. So as they were having conversations prior to establishing security, I think they took a lot of extraordinary bureaucratic measures to make it so that I think that day, if the National Guard was going to be deployed, it either had to be, I think, Miller or Walker. I think one of those two had to be the direct authorization.
Let me respond briefly.
Which is novel.
We have you
go that way. Let me.
We have you 1 hour ago saying Trump never called for National Guard, and you just said they refused it. I got your ass.
You got me. Yes, that's correct. You got me. So when the National Guard was deployed, the only area that they were allowed to do.
They blocked it.
Yep.
The Pentagon blocked Trump.
Yes.
You just admitted Trump wanted it, didn't get it.
You got me. They only deployed 340 people,
and they're from an hour ago. He said it wasn't
That's
true.
right. You got me.
Got him.
That's right.
Got him. You want to do
scope of the mission? The scope of the mission. You know, rhetoric like this is why Ashley Babbitt got shot. You realize that, right?
I'm gonna get shot?
No, people like Ashley Babbitt died because of people like you driving people onto this, right? It might be funny for you. I don't know if it's funny for them.
Ashley Babbitt?
You're more or less responsible with this kind of talk, yes.
Oh, my God,
yes.
I'm murdering.
Yes. Play in a factual world.
You
at
love
least,
the
tie yourself to the ground.
You said an hour ago that Trump never asked for National Guard. I can show 50 articles. It's on record. And then you just admitted it. Gotcha.
Guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
340 people were authorized to be there, but in order to actually call them to the themselves, it was an extraordinary process. When you read the J6 committee in the Situation Room and Sund and everybody else complaining, where's the National Guard? Where's the National Guard? There was a whole bunch of stupid bureaucratic red tape and optics concerns that people had to cut through to get them there. So if you believe the official story and the 15 to 20 people
1 hour ago he said Trump never won National Guard. Now Trump wanted it, but he didn't get it for a good reason.
We're talking. Okay, so Alex, so you're claiming that this is staged. You're claiming the FBI was behind it. In 2019, you
like the Gulf of Tonkin.
No. You specifically said, I almost had like a form of psychosis where I thought everything was staged. So do you still have that psychosis?
Well, I said almost a form.
So do you almost still have that form of psychosis?
You asked a question. Let me quote it for you. That's out of a larger context about when you're lied to.
In a court deposition.
You're not. I said a larger context of deposition.
About Sandy Hook.
Which is a larger...
Because you said you called Sandy Hook's a hoax, and you said it was fake because of this.
Sure, so you let me talk now?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I said a larger context, which is a larger 5 hours, 8 hour deposition, right? So I just told the truth. I said a larger context. I'm explaining that the public's been lied to so much, there's a major loss in confidence where people then don't believe anything they're told, and that's dangerous.
That's not what you said. That's not the context you said. That's not the context you said.
I know what I said.
But I read it. I read the deposition.
So put the full thing out.
I don't have it with me, but I read it.
The point is, stop.
Somebody Google it.
You're scared to let me talk?
No, go ahead.
So that's a whole nother PR firm thing, things out of context to blow that stuff up. All that
PR firm is telling you what you say in court under oath?
You're not.
We got to let Alex finish the short question, and then we're going to go back to the user's question.
I mean, Madeleine Albright told Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes, I ordered 500,000 children killed because I thought it was a good thing to do. I'd do it again. She's a great person. I questioned Jussie Smollett. I questioned WMDs in Iraq. I question everything, and I'm proud of everything I've done, and all that stuff is PR firm garbage. When I talk about the general public, because the media lies about almost everything, loses trust in anything, that creates a general form of psychosis, and it's very dangerous. I talk about that every day on my show. And Joe Rogan just last week said, you know, Alex Jones isn't totally right, but he means to be right. He's more informative than CNN. They lie on purpose, and the public has lost trust in the system. That's dangerous. What do you do? So that was the full discussion. Let me give you another example. They say in court, Jones in a custody battle said, I'm an actor. Everything I say is fake. I've offered a $1 million reward for that. I didn't say that. They wanted to put, like now, a 15-year-old video. Back then, it was like a 9-year-old video of me as the Joker saying all these horrible things. Take drugs, kids, you'll die. It's great. So kids wouldn't take drugs. It's reverse psychology. Okay. And hold on. They wanted to introduce that in court. And my lawyer said, when Jack Nicholson plays the Joker, he's not really the Joker. And when Alex Jones is in Waking Life or Scanner Darkly or any of this stuff, when he's being an actor, it's not what he really means. In the scope of when
Are you being an actor now?
No, see.
How do we know? How do we know?
No,
how do you know?
See,
maybe you still have psychosis.
But see, that's the game you're playing.
No, I'm not playing a game. I'm serious.
No. I am 99.
Psychosis is a serious problem.
No, when I'm on this show, this is Alex Jones, the analyst, Alex Jones, the pundit.
Alex Jones, get to you in a moment.
Covering.
Yeah, Glenn's about to jump in.
This game that I don't mean when I say, Ray said I orchestrated it. That's a real thing.
Yeah, we're all playing a sort of character right now. We're all on a stage.
I was actually in that Twitter space with you, with Elon Musk. What was it, 4 weeks ago or so? And you tried to claim that you didn't push the Sandy Hook conspiracy theory.
Excuse me.
We're getting a field here.
I'm basing this on the whole psychosis thing. I have a.
This is a field. This is not in the scope of the discussion.
Yeah, we really got to stick to the question.
Focus on the user's question.
You lied in that space. You did push it. You did say that it was fake. You did. I have the quote right here. Let me read the quote. The whole
okay. Ed, we're done. We're done. Glenn, I want to hear from Glenn. Glenn's about to speak.
But I got to say this right now. Let me finish. I said in the context of everything I've done, I wasn't deplatformed for questioning a school shooting. They dredged that up afterwards, and I barely ever talked about it. It wasn't even on our radar.
But you said it was fake.
No, if I'm on the air...
You said after examining it for a year, you found that it was fake.
That's what. All right, you know what? That's it. We're done with this fucking conversation. We're moving on to the user questions. As told, Glenn, you had something to say? Glenn, please.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say that we are out of time here because it's been 3 hours, but I did just want to say I do think that attack on Alex is a bullshit attack. We are here because we want to talk about January 6th. We want to talk about whether this is an insurrection.
We're talking about something.
And to try and make it about Alex when there are 6 people here presenting all kinds of evidence that you're not equipped to deal with, I think it's just a pathetic way to try and end this debate. And the last thing I want to say is it's really given like a kind of amazingly vivid mindset into the minds of Trump-era liberals who have really come to see the U.S. security state and the courts and prosecutors as their political allies in their war that they're waging against people who disagree with them. And they have this like very romanticized view of what the FBI is, what the DOJ is, how the court systems work, how the federal government works. And all of this reveals this so well because what's happening here is so manifest, which is that all of these agencies are being abused because the Trump movement is considered the gravest threat to establishment power in this country, which is why the bipartisan establishment establishment is against it. To try and make this about Alex and Sandy Hook is a really pathetic way to end the debate. I think you guys have done a good job defending your views. I think you should leave it at that. And we definitely have to go because it's been 3 hours.
Yeah, well, we're not done. We're going to keep talking with some questions. No, not right now.
Can I answer the user's question?
Yeah, I would love to, but give me 1 second. The only reason I scream is because I don't have a mute button for the people right now. I would prefer not to have to use my voice.
I think you did a great job, Ian.
Thank you.
And I really
I think Glenn needs to go. We'll stay. Glenn, give us a 3-minute closing comment. All I'm trying to say is I didn't launch any wars. I didn't lie about WMDs. And to bring that in is
there was a point to it though.
Yeah, like you didn't let me get to my point.
His point was just that if you were lying about that, or if you had psychosis about that, how do we know that that's not coming about? Half the show we talked about.
I did not say I had psychosis.
Half of the show we talked about feds, and you.
No, I talked to. If you look at the full clip of the transcript,
we talked about things.
I said there's a group. There's a larger lie when we're lied to and lose trust. Then out of that, when no one knows what's true, it creates a lot of problems.
So the reason I went back to that is because in that Twitter space, you said that you didn't push it. You said that you just regurgitated other people's information. And that's not true. Because you told
No, that's not true. I want to shut this down. Okay. So I want to move to the next thing. It's not that I'm scared of this. I'm sick of it. I didn't make my bones on this. Okay. I barely ever talked about it.
I just wanted to correct
they introduced
that wasn't true.
22 minutes in these court cases over a decade. 22 minutes, dude. No, I didn't. That's not what I'm doing. You guys bring it up. And fine. Hey, Madeleine Albright said she killed 500,000 kids. She'd do it again. I killed no kids.
I just wanted.
Come on, guys. This is cheap as fuck. Let's talk about what the people are paying. They have questions. They want to. We have some legitimate people.
I know, but Glenn says he wants to leave. I love Glenn Greenwald.
No one's
gone.
Glenn's gone. Be forced to hang out with me tonight. Okay, we're going to the second question. Unless Darren, did you want to follow up?
I wanted to answer the user's question about the lack of preparation, because it involves a lot more than the question of the National Guard. You know, for additional context, there's the Norfolk memo coming out of the Norfolk office of the FBI, extensively cataloging threats to the Capitol, including maps of tunnels, all kinds of indications that there was going to be a major event at the Capitol on that day. There was extensive government infiltration of every single militia group imputed to January 6th.
And there was a stand down?
Wait. Up to the very, very highest levels. We know that Enrique Tarrio had an extensive conversation with the head of Metro PD Intel. And that's just one example. We know the VP of the Oath Keepers was an FBI informant. We know there are at least 8 other informants in the Proud Boys, including informants who were texting their handlers simultaneously as they were in the Capitol and as the events unfolded. We know of the Oath Keeper Jeremy Brown, who's been attacked and persecuted by the government. Why? Because when he was approached by JTTF agents in December of 2020 to recruit him as an informant, he recorded the exchange and the encounter and put it out there on the internet. The JTTF agent said, there's something going to happen in January. We want you to be an informant for us. We know that there are several influencers, including Milo, who parlored, or whatever the tweet version is for Parler, put out a message on January 5th saying, I was just approached by federal agents. Whatever they have planned on the 6th is huge. Don't go there. That's just a number of examples. Oh, yeah. And there was Donnell Harvin. He was the head of the Homeland Security Office for the DC Fusion Center. His predictions were remarkably specific and accurate. His office came up with the idea that we need to have body bags. We need to focus on the Capitol at 1 o'clock. Specifically, we need to be concerned with explosive planted on side streets that could serve a diversionary effect, therefore allowing for an attack on the Capitol. These are just some of the highlights of examples of the government being in a position to know in advance what was going on. And it wasn't just that there was an ordinary level of security at the Capitol, which is inconceivable when you think of the fact that there was a major proceeding there, that Trump was there giving a speech. Ordinarily, there would be threat assessments, which there weren't. It's not just that there was ordinary level of security. There is a uniquely absent security on that day, uniquely poor security on a day with a major certification proceeding, on a day in which President Trump was there to give a major speech on a very controversial question directly pertinent to that proceeding.
So Darren, there's 1,250 people who were indicted thus far. How many of them brought up as evidence in court that they were enticed or led into the building or led to do crimes by federal agents?
Well, there are actually quite a few.
How many of those?
Well, I would count them, but it's not.
But was any of that evidence actually admitted in court?
In some cases, yes.
And
as you can
imagine,
the judicial process is very aggressive in pushing
45.
against any types of entrapment defenses. And many defense lawyers, in some cases, reasonably so, want to dissuade their clients from entrapment-type defenses because their goal is not to uncover the truth about entrapment. Their goal is to do the best for their clients in those specific cases.
So out of 1,250 cases,
We've been live for 51 minutes. I made it within the hour. I went and got blood work and came back. That's fucking awesome. So, thank you. Bitcoin went back up to 45,000. Well, I want some kafefe, man. I want to celebrate. I need some kafef. Some fresh kafef. my God. Oh, shit. Okay, man. Cool. All right. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Got me some banana bread that my mom just made yesterday. And look at me. Hey, Saracana. Alright, so cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have us some kafef. Dude, I was watching that, says Tula. Alright, here we go.
Of those defenses were actually pushed forward by
No,
any of those
I didn't say
defendants.
not one.
No.
There are some, but not as many as you would think. But not because this isn't relevant to the truth, but because if you're a lawyer, even a good faith lawyer, you are required to give advice to your client that's not, what's most likely to uncover the full truth about the broad event of January 6th, but what's most likely to keep my client out of jail or to minimize the time that my client
The truth is
spends in jail.
exculpatory.
Right. I would think that evidence that a federal agent led you to commit a crime or acted in a way that made you
That'd be
want to commit a
pertinent to your
crime
case.
would be pretty exculpatory evidence right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would in certain cases.
And why wasn't
like
it
I
used?
said, there are people who are pursuing that. There's a
Bullshit. They've all been convicted already. Nobody pursued it while they were in court.
significant backlash to that within the judicial system. So even given how much it's rigged now, it's additionally rigged when it comes to those specific types of defenses because they're so subversive to the larger narrative that the government's trying to promote.
Why wouldn't McCarthy put any Republicans on the J6 committee then and investigate this?
45,
well, McCarthy
125.
isn't
Oh
exactly
my God.
someone who's aggressively
Look
interested
where we
in
are in
pursuing
Bitcoin.
the truth on this either.
Okay,
Not
why
every
not
Republican
appoint
wants
like
to
a
uncover
special
the truth on
counsel
this.
or appoint something separate then from Congress?
Well, I think that
Hey,
would be a
Dage.
fantastic idea. But
Why
again,
didn't Trump do it?
why didn't Trump do it? Trump's not in a position to do it.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
right after J6 before he gets kicked out, why not appoint
Well,
a special
I mean,
counsel? Or why
yes.
not in the days before if he thinks that there's...
I mean, there is not a really window of opportunity for that to happen. A lot of other stuff is going on.
So doesn't it suck then that like you can provide absolutely no smoking guns?
I provided a ton of evidence. No smoking guns. I provided overwhelming
You
evidence.
have not provided evidence for anything. You've given
Overwhelming
You've given a
evidence.
lot of stories, and now you've got an escape for every single way.
He says overwhelming evidence, and he hasn't supplied one piece of evidence at all. All he said is people are doing it or people are talking about it. That's his evidence. And that is all of these red pill guys, all of them, when they're trying to convince you of anything, that's usually their evidence. You know, it's all straw man. It's crazy.
Actually
We're going to get
discover
heated
what
up here
happened.
quick, man.
No, I've been
I got to
wrong.
thicken my blood back up.
Proponent.
I'm a little lightheaded.
I'm a proponent for an investigative committee, but not the sham J6 committee.
Well, they tried. They tried to.
No, the J6 committee is total sham.
Why is the J6 committee a sham?
Well, you really want to hear a good faith answer to that? Why it's partisan? Well, let's start with Benny Thompson. Now,
No, I know the people on it were all partisan. That's true. But that's because McCarthy. But that's because McCarthy wouldn't put forth his nominees after Pelosi said no to 2 of 5.
well,
Why didn't he
first
put
of
forth
all,
2
I
other
think
ones?
those two should have been
I'm
allowed
not asking you that. I'm asking why didn't McCarthy put forth 2 other ones?
because he didn't want to legitimize a process that was totally.
Yeah, he didn't want to legitimize. Exactly. There you go. And you just outed yourself, you fucking stupid cunt. You guys don't want to legitimize anything the Democrats are doing. And holy shit, I mean, you just said the quiet part out loud, and I wonder if Destiny's going to jump all over that.
illegitimate.
So how convenient for you then that now we can also say the entire J6 committee
No,
that
it's
has
not
hundreds
convenient.
It is
It's not convenient for me.
None of the
It's
evidence we can point
convenient
to
for
is
the
admissible
regime.
anywhere. No,
It's
convenient
convenient for the regime not to have a legitimate.
It's the wrong answer, Destiny. You're right. I mean, but you should have gone with my track, man.
And disinterested fact-finding commission to truly get to the bottom of the real questions that matter in relation to January 6th.
But there is no disinterested fact-finding. You guys say Comey was biased, even though he was a lifelong Republican.
Well,
You say
he was.
Raffensperger was biased, even though he was a lifelong Republican. You guys say that Barr was biased, even though he's been a lifelong Trump supporter and a Republican.
Ray?
Like, yeah, you say Ray is biased. Like every single person you can. Yeah. So then there are no unbiased fact-finders.
Well, I didn't
except for
say
Hillary.
there are none, but the specific names you mentioned, absolutely.
How about William Barr?
And
Is he biased?
How about
Yes.
So all these Trump appointees, Trump
Yes, he made terrible appointments.
Ever do hire people, right?
Well, I didn't say it. That's not my contention here.
Who would be able to investigate this?
I think there are some people who could. I think Jim Jordan who could.
Jim Jordan would be your example of an unbiased party.
Jim Jordan was literally part of the investigation.
I would say for there to be a legitimate committee, it would have to include people who are genuinely interested in pursuing not only the questions that Benny Thompson and the hyper-partisan Democrats wanted to find out, but people who are sympathetic to the other side who would be willing to pursue the questions that I've raised and have been raised that were not addressed at all in the committee, because all they were interested in was demonizing Trump and setting up a criminal proceeding for Trump. They weren't interested in getting to the bottom of the questions. Why was there uniquely poor security? What was going on with the level of federal infiltration?
These questions are all asked as part of It's an 847-page report. I invite you to read it at some point. The reality is that McCarthy at any point could have put 5 Republicans that he chose on that committee. But because Nancy Pelosi said no to 2 of them, I think Banks and Jordan, they were actively being investigated or would have been the subjects of the J6 committee. He said no to anything, and now we get to say it was.
So see, he wanted to put people on the committee who were guilty of taking part in it. So in this case, and you all got to admit it, Nancy Pelosi, who we all can't stand, she was right, and she was defending the truth. And you got to give Nancy Pelosi credit for doing that one thing. No, you're not going to put 2 January 6th criminals on the fucking board. You're an idiot. Give us, less biased people who aren't, whose own criminality will be judged eventually on a board that's supposed to determine whether or not this is criminal or this is just psychotic. And Nancy Pelosi was the adult in the room. And you got to give her credit. And here Destiny is calling this dude out. Oh, he didn't want to give legitimacy. Oh, yeah, you don't want to give legitimacy to something that was legitimate. You want to make it illegitimate. You want to make it illegitimate so you can run on it. And that's what you do. And now 35% of the population here in America, they side with these dumb cunt red pill motherfuckers. Yeah.
Even though the majority of the people interviewed were Republicans, even though, as was stated earlier, every single person
near
near
a lot
Trump.
on the Republican issue, but it shouldn't be a surprise to you. Many Republicans, institutional apparatus of the party, is not necessarily friendly to Trump. There are many Republicans that are hostile to Trump.
If every single person in government, if every Republican, if every Democrat, if every judge, if every
Destiny and Alex Jones walked off, and then only Destiny came back, and Alex didn't. I wonder what happened.
Every person in the United States that is in Trump's peripheral ends up hating Trump or not wanting to work with Trump. At what point do you say?
We're not saying every.
At what point you are?
At what
point do you just say?
I've been gone for 10 minutes.
Maybe the problem. No,
Here he is. Here he is. You'll always know when Alex Jones is there, because the gravel starts grating almost immediately. And when you hear the gravel grating, you know you're about to enter the world of Alex Jones's truth.
Maybe Trump was actually genuinely a horrible person, or maybe Trump actually genuinely tried to circumvent legal processes.
7 minutes left
to coup the government, or at least whatever you would call him asking Pence to unilaterally elect the government for him.
Biden is trying to make it his #1 campaign issue about January 6th.
It should be the #1 campaign issue.
It should be.
Not inflation, not open borders, not human smuggling.
You had a president try to circumvent the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in U.S. history.
This actually takes me to the next question. This is going to be our final.
It's a great reason not to vote for Donald Trump.
From Fred C. And the question is, will Destiny address, quote, is white supremacy the biggest domestic threat faced by the United States? And I open it up to the panel after you give an answer there, Stephen.
Domestic threat? I don't know how the FBI judges domestic threat. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot of crossover with like white supremacy groups and then being like organized like a domestic threat. But my guess would be domestic threats in the U.S. is probably fairly low to the total security of the U.S. So I don't really care that much about it. I don't know.
But that's the official policy. Is white supremacy is #1 threat.
What is that? That's not a policy. That's a statement.
No, that's an executive order in June of 2021. Put out by the
what are the negative
I've
policy
got gravelly voice, and I will tell you that I am smarter than all of you combined.
They try to skew crime numbers. They say everything is that. I mean, this is like a major deal.
Skew crime numbers say everything is that. What do you mean?
Gage Lee, 7 minutes.
We don't crime by black people anymore? Didn't we just get all of the
No, the FBI says that #1 crime is white people.
They say the number one crime is white people.
But they do it statistically by manipulating the numbers, yeah.
I don't think the FBI is in charge of manipulating the numbers.
The FBI is not involved in crime statistics?
I didn't say involved in crime statistics. I'm pretty sure you can go to the federal. There's a name for the site that has like.
I don't believe you're like hiding under a rock somewhere. You got to know he gave a speech for an hour yesterday saying the MAGA people are terrorists who are about to take over. I mean, you don't know. You just said it's good that Biden is running on January 6th.
I think January 6th is a huge deal, yes. The president trying to circumvent the peaceful transfer of power is a really big issue.
And that's why he can't be allowed to be voted for.
No, that's not why. He's not allowed to be voted for. Because Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says that if you have been a prior oath taker and you have been engaged in rebellion or insurrection, you're not allowed to run for office again.
We have to be clear about what's really happening. The standard Democrat voter, these people don't care about the so-called insurrection. That's not Biden's audience. Biden's audience is to speak in support of this phony legal theory that's being served as a pretext to remove him from the ballots, and therefore, in the defense of democracy.
I agree. He's trying to rally the deep state, saying Trump's going to persecute us and arrest us if we don't stop him because they've committed all these crimes.
So I mean, fact is, the Supreme Court's looking at it. They actually
Let's do
decided to take the
820.
case. So it doesn't matter what any of us think. The Supreme Court's going to rule on it. And I think,
820.
whatever they decide is what we're going to live with.
Well, let me ask this. What happens if Trump gets reelected?
What do you mean, what happens?
Well, what do you think? They've still got criminal investigations, criminal trials.
Oh, so you mean if he gets reelected before being sentenced, if he is convicted?
Yeah.
I think he just takes over being president. He'll pardon himself or give the presidency.
And I don't. He didn't persecute his political opposition when he was in. I don't think he's going to try to do that.
He asked Barr to investigate Hillary. I mean,
quite the opposite. Trump's own bureaucracies were undermining him.
Well,
it's far from him using the bureaucracies to go after others. His own bureaucracies were circumventing his own president.
Well, that happened with Biden as well, wasn't it?
But everyone can see
Comey doing the investigation on Hillary's
establishments
emails.
after
No
Trump.
law regarding candidates. Everybody cheers.
Hillary's emails was under Biden, right?
What about the Hunter Biden investigation?
There's no acknowledgement there? Yeah.
Hunter Biden investigation. That's Biden's DOJ.
Hunter Biden, he was convicted on the grind.
And that's because the Democrats want him to step down for Newsom.
Oh my God, there's a reason why. Yeah. There's always
so
a
now the Democrats don't want Biden to step down. That's admitted.
There's an explanation
Who
for
are
everything.
the Democrats?
The debate continues.
No, the dominant Democratic Party wants Biden to step down. It's been all over the news, and they're putting pressure on him to do it. You're saying that's made up?
He's not going to step down. That's not.
How does he step down? Because you still need to have a primary.
And it's past the
He's
deadline.
frozen out the other candidates in his primary.
The deadline has passed. So if he was to step down right now, Harris would likely be who the nominee would be.
Well,
it's too late for Newsom. Like he missed out on several states. Go ahead.
We've really
answered that question.
we really hammered that one right to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is coming to a close. Zero Hedge, thank you so much for putting this.
All right. God, that guy's creepy AF. No, Newsom. I know Newsom's an idiot. Can't even clean up his own state. Now he wants to run. Hey, 45-143, guys. 45-147. What? $45,158. You guys want to see the 7-day? Oh. And here's the 1 month chart. We got all the way up to 45,794, guys, before. So we can go all the way up to 794, no problem, right now. $194. That's the updated 24-hour chart, guys. 45 170. $45 194. 168. Holy shit. It's pumping hard, guys. The lifeblood of Bitcoin, it flows. If everybody that held Bitcoin right now just bought $5 of it, it would fucking go. Just buy $5 of Bitcoin right now. Everyone buy $5 of Bitcoin in the whole world. Can we do it? You guys still with me over there on the Rumble stream? Oh, wait. Dude, why isn't the chat? Are you guys... It says there's 12 people watching and nobody's chatting except for Tula and Yay. Will it be 46K? We're looking at 45.7. It can hit. Dage Lee. Dude, Destiny's jaw looks like a tweaker jaw. I know. Everybody knows that. Everyone calls him fucking meth head and shit in this chat. It's funny. He's on Adderall, I think. I think Adderall does that to you. I'm not sure. Justin McLeod, what's up? Have you noticed this is why his chick bailed? Got that vibe. No, his chick bailed because they were living in an open type relationship where you're just, sleeping with whoever you want to sleep with. And if you do that, there's a chance you might meet someone else that you like better than the person that you're with. And maybe they're just as open-minded as that person. And you like that person better for whatever reason. That's the relationship you choose to be in, man. I blame that style of relationship. I don't blame it's because he's on Adderall or because his jaw fucking... I mean, she basically knew what she was getting into. His whole life was out there on the internet for her to see before she ever got involved with him, Sorry, is this why? Yeah. From what I watched, I just don't think so. I think it was just because they lived that lifestyle. And that's bound to happen when you're living that lifestyle. Yeah, me neither. I think that's it's just a garbage solution to something that could be beautiful. A relationship between two people is just incredible and so rewarding. I'm font. Are you saying I'm fed up with? I don't know what font is. Where are the bears, man? We haven't had a good bear sighting lately. I watched a buck chasing 2 or 3 does. right across my yard. I saw one doe and a fawn. The fawn came bolting. This was another group. Came bolting into my yard and just stopped on the edge of the woods. And then the mom came running in, and then the baby came running out of the woods and ran up to its mom, and they just stood there and started eating grass right there yesterday in the backyard. It was pretty cool. There's a lot going on with those deer right now. There's a lot of activity going on out there, I'm telling you. Get this goofy motherfucker off my screen. Celsius payouts. Okay, I'll bite.
It's Aaron here, so I just want to give you guys an update, everything that's happening with Celsius, what's coming through the docket. We have the different ad hoc groups basically fighting for their ability to get their fees reimbursed through the substantial contribution. I'm also going to touch on a couple other things as well, including this email that some creditors have received about the convenience class. I'm also going to touch on how to change your PayPal email address and also your Coinbase email address as well. Because remember, the last thing that Celsius told us is to make sure that your email addresses, if you can, match up with your Celsius account and your Coinbase/PayPal. I know there's a lot of people that, again, use the Apple ID or had some sort of relay service, so they aren't able to match their email addresses. I'm sure there will be some way of making that right, but make sure your mailing address is definitely accurate as well, because it may just come to the point where they mail you a check for US dollars. Or they can verify your identity with your birth date and maybe your driver's license. There may be other ways to confirm your identity, even if your email addresses don't line up. So I want to go through the different documents that came in through the docket over the last couple of days. Nothing
that's important. I need to make sure my shit's working on that.
And next, you have some of the ad hoc groups fighting for their substantial contribution, basically getting their legal fees paid for. But first, we have the debtors in Kirkland, and we actually have the UCC, so White and Case, not really wanting the borrower ad hoc group to get their fees reimbursed. And the main reason is that Kirkland and White and Case believe that the borrower group pursued self-interested goals, including fees incurred in connection with its efforts to block the implementation of the orderly wind down. So they're kind of ganging up on this ad hoc group. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Next, we have the ad hoc group for Earn, 17 pages. They are again fighting for why they should get their fees reimbursed. We then have some people responding to the U.S. trustees' objection that they should get their fees reimbursed. We have the ad hoc group for Withhold, 30 pages here, fighting to get their fees reimbursed. We have the same thing with the ad hoc for Earn. Then we have 211 pages for the custody ad hoc group. They're also fighting for their professional fees and expenses to be paid. Next, we have Simon Dixon and Bank to the Future fighting for their fees to be paid as well. We have a pro se creditor, Rebecca Gallagher, replying to the U.S. trustee. The U.S. trustee basically said that nobody should get their fees paid for, so we have a couple people just responding directly to the U.S. trustee. We then have the ad hoc group for Earn also fighting for their fees to be reimbursed, and then we have another pro se creditor, Manny Herman, doing the same thing. Now, the substantial contribution hearing will happen January 11th, so that's why we're getting a lot of documents in before then. But for most of us, this does not affect us one bit. We are waiting to know what percent we are getting back of our claim, how much Bitcoin, how much ETH we are going to be getting back, and hopefully we will know that by the end of this month. That's the hope. That's what I believe the debtors said. Maybe White and Case said that as well. I don't know if we're gonna get it by the end of this month. It'll probably, in my opinion, go into February, and then maybe we'll get our crypto out by March, because getting crypto out has to do with how quickly and how safely they can verify everybody for Coinbase and then PayPal, Venmo. So there's still a lot of hurdles in front of us until we actually get the crypto out of Celsius and then into Coinbase or PayPal, and then from there you can send it directly into a hardware wallet if you wanted to. And if you don't have a hardware wallet, I would suggest buying one. I'll include a couple affiliate links below for you guys. I do get a little bit of kickback, but I'll include some companies that I do use myself in the description. So I want to talk about two things. The first is this email that a lot of people got regarding the convenience class, and then I want to talk about how to change your information in Coinbase and also in PayPal. But first, I actually wanted to talk a little bit very quickly about this whole Bitcoin halving and also buying altcoins and what am I doing right now regarding this. So we have the fourth Bitcoin halving happening in April of this year. You can see the previous three halvings, the price of Bitcoin has dramatically gone up each time. And here's another way of looking at the Bitcoin price history via a log scale. We can see the low of $16,000. Now we're around that $42,000 mark or so. And the reason I brought this up is having to do with this Bitcoin ETF. So I do not think this Bitcoin ETF is priced in. And even if the Bitcoin ETF does not go through, we can see that historically the price of Bitcoin continues to go up with each halving. But going back to the Bitcoin ETF, only 39% of financial advisors believe a Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved in 2024. And 88% of those advisors interested in purchasing Bitcoin are waiting until after.
I've changed my email address to the one that matches the email address. It's Celsius on PayPal. Already.
Some of the companies looking to get a Bitcoin ETF are
I'm all over that shit.
iShares Bitcoin Trust, Valkyrie, Van Eck, Wisdom Tree, and Wise Origin Bitcoin Trust. So the window for approval remains between.
And I've got crypto set up on PayPal.
It really doesn't matter if this ETF is approved or not. The price of Bitcoin seems to go up every 4 years.
I've made $7.48 on my $100
on into the cryptoverse. We have the Bitcoin log regression bands. You can see right here for Bitcoin, we are still very, very low when it comes to these regression bands. In my opinion, it's a long way to go. Next, we have this chart that I like. It says ETH market.
Oh my God, it's down to 45, guys.
This cycle and last cycle, we are around a 2.2 to 2.8x from the bottom. In the last cycle for Ethereum did a 58x. So a 58x. So that would bring the price of Ethereum to well over $10,000.
Hey, what's up, Nikki? Look at you in the Hall of Fame right up there.
Well, I took a couple screenshots for you guys.
Now you know why. Everyone now, we all know why Nikki's in the Hall of Fame now.
Now this was like 5 months after the Bitcoin halving of 2020. And remember, the Bitcoin halving for this year is going to happen around April. So we have like 4 months or so. So this is the equivalent of you buying altcoins at the end of this year. And I still did very, very well. So I bought Uniswap at $3 per uni. Now it's at $6. it hit a high of $44. I purchased AVE December 28th.
You just saw that?
For $83 a token. Right now,
that's
it's $101.
been up.
It also went up to $661 a
You're
token.
funny.
I then purchased Link on October 2019 for just under $3.
We're getting raided by Nikki, everybody.
It was around $50. So these all would have been very, very good buys.
So we can pause that. We don't have to listen to that anymore. I heard the most important thing, and I actually learned something from watching Aaron, and I got to thank him. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll leave him a message and thank him because he just helped me for putting up that video. You know, that he just helped me big time for putting that video up on. I'm so glad we watched that. So, because I had 2 different email addresses. Cheers, Bitter. Was that from a while back? We're getting raided by Nikki. What's up, people? What's up, people? I stopped the whole show to talk to you. That's right, my partner. We're gonna go moseying on down over here to the saloon. Partner? Yes. Yes, that was a while ago. Yes, Bitter, it was quite a while ago. Perhaps we should do something about that with the Biden death bong. All right, so this is what we'll do. Someone came in my show earlier today and say, "Yo, Nay, did you hear Biden stepped down?" And I'm like, "Yo, bro, did you hear that you're a fucking crazy person that lives in a closet?" I mean, understand, if Biden stepped down, you wouldn't be the only one coming in my chat saying that shit. Yeah. Secondly, I keep the news on in the morning. I look at it. There ain't nothing in there going on. Nothing on my phone. Nothing on the television. I don't see it. Not on the internets. But you, my friend, the one person whose name I didn't recognize, of course, you knew that Biden had stepped down from the presidency. We don't have a president! Is Kamala Harris going to step in? Is she now our president? Oh. Man, I got these new guitar picks and no one is even here watching my show. Oh, wait. No. Nikki brought like a whole bunch of people from Twitch. Look at all the viewers you brought over here, Nikki. Holy shit. You know, I can see exactly how many came over on my my dashboard. Let me see here. Let me check that dashboard count out for Twitch. 10 people you brought over. And then I got 6 on the main channel of YouTube. Thank you, Nikki. Crazy. Doubling my numbers over there. It's looking good. Rumble's only got 8 people. And nobody's talking in the chat. I don't even care. I'm going to play my guitar. I don't even care. I'm going to play my guitar. Where's the lyrics at, bro? There it is. Cool. Why is it so hard to play? That's not easy to play. What do you think of the PRS CE24 guitar? I don't know what a PRS CE24 is. Are you talking about a Paul Reed Smith? Yeah, PRS. Paul Reed's. I don't know what a CE24 is, but I love Paul Reed Smith's stage, and I want one so bad, bro. But it's got to be a lefty. But I'd love to have a Paul Reed Smith guitar. Oh my God, lefty. But I've looked at them and I've seen the lefties, you know, and it's never the one I want, bro. It's a piece of shit Paul Reed Smith. It's a bullshit Paul Reed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a bullshit. It's a goddamn bullshit Paul Reed Smith guitar. And I'm like, that is not the one I want, dude. I want the fucking... And it's got to be... I'm just going to have to order one custom made and shit. You know? To get the one I want. Alright, we'll see if that makes a difference. I can't even play now. I look at you all, see the love that they're sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping. Still my guitar gently weeps. Do a little Roy Orbison. good for the. How? Nobody told you. No one controlled you. I don't know how you were diverted. Diverted you. I look at the world and I notice it's turning. While my guitar gently weeps, with every mistake we must surely be learning. Still my guitar gently weeps. You guys are a great audience. Thank you for all of the compliments. black, tattooed everything. All that love gone bad, turned my world to black, tattooed all I see, all I am, all I'll be. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star, but in somebody else's skies. But why can it be mine? Yeah, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, we're back under 45. Why can't Bitcoin be 45K? Hey, 45K, yeah. Bitcoin 45. Why can't Bitcoin be 45? Why can't Bitcoin be 45? No. Okay, moving. run, 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 run. Run. You'd better run all day, run all night, but keep your dirty little secrets deep inside. If you're taking your girlfriend out tonight, you better park the car well out of sight. 'Cause if they catch you in the backseat trying to pick her locks, they're gonna send you back to mother in a cardboard box. You better run. I like this clean. It's just that my fingers are completely numb. Run, 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 run. You'd better pack your bag underneath your favorite disguise with your button down lip and your rose wine eyes. If you're taking your girlfriend out tonight, you better park the car well out of sight. 'Cause if they catch you in the backseat trying to pick her locks, they're gonna send you back to mother in a cardboard box. You better run. Up again. All right, going up again. Cool cover songs, bro. Thanks. steel drums kind of. I like that. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she do just turns me on. Even when my life is almost tragic, don't you know my love for her goes on? Yo. What? You got a what? All right. Sounds like it's going backwards. Thanks, Tula. Can't get the player to play. Sounds like it's going backwards. Totally meant to do that. Do you like that, Nick? Thank you, Bitter. Thank you, Nick. Galaxy and 21 games file amendments on the same day. You know what time it is. Hell yeah. Hopefully we're getting some goddamn ETFs up in your beat. I'm going to turn them here. Player to play. Sounds like it's going backwards. Totally meant to do that. Do you like that, Nick? Thank you, Bitter. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Bitter. Hope you guys are enjoying Dave Campione, Hippie Chick. Where's the chatters? Moved over. Hell yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we're getting some goddamn ETFs up in your meat. Yeah, over here. Over here. Over here. I got some ETFs up in your meat. 44.9. Come on. 45. Yes. Do we have, and should we refresh that? fun. Okay, I had fun. Here we're gonna. Okay, cool. So we all had fun. Great. Yes, we had fun. How many thumbs ups did I get? That will show me how much fun we had. Oh, 3 thumbs ups. Oh, goodness. Okay. That's a reason enough to end the show. I will see you guys later for the lack of the thumbs ups. I know when people are not enjoying the show. I can see it in the lack of thumbs ups there. Yes. Only 3. I only see 3 thumbs ups on the Rumble. I'm saying, guys, come on. Seriously. If there's people here, give me thumbs ups. Otherwise, yeah. 3. How many thumbs ups do y'all see? Let me know. On the Rumble, how many do y'all see? I see 3. How many do y'all see? I got yours better. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 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 I got better. Yeah. Who else? What else? Who else? What else? What else we got? Okay, that's it. All right, you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next show. Take care, guys. Peace out, and all that good stuff.